How's it going, guys? So, it's been a long time since my last upload, and as you can see, a lot has changed since then. I'm actually in my shop now, and I've got some lighting and electricity set up, which means I can finally start working on some cars again. I think I just want to show you guys some things that I've done off camera on the car and get right back into working on the 240. Nothing too crazy. This isn't really like the final setup. You know, I've just got everything somewhat organized for now. My brother's got his bumper up on the workbench, but here's my little Harbor Freight box. Worked good for me for years. Here's a kind of a workbench I set up using our shelves. Got some tubs, welder, toolbox. I did the wiring in here. I did all the wiring. I didn't feel like making a video on it because I don't feel like I'm experienced enough to really show people how to wire, but I think it turned out pretty good, you know. Panel, bins, exactly everything I did. Got an exhaust fan set up. It's also kind of hard to show the lighting, but the lighting turned out really good. I think I'm excited to see exactly how that looks on camera. Lots of outlets in here. Lots of outlets. Moving on to the car. Some things I never got to show you guys. The exhaust. So I think it's an Apexy exhaust. I don't know. I got a full exhaust on there. I got a new ISR downpipe and turbo elbow, 3-inch. Interior is about, I don't know, we're like 3/4 of the way there. I still need to wire up gauges, get the door panels on, a couple other little odds and ends, rear deck, speakers, radio, that kind of stuff. But the interior is almost there. You know, still pretty much where it is, like almost complete. Some things I need to finish. The catch can needs to be modified to fit properly. Went over this side again. I think it's still got a small power steering leak. I need to order an intake still. Pretty much complete under here, which is good. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up for the most part. I'm sure there's some other things that I'm forgetting. Gives you a good general idea of where it's at. I wish I could show you the exhaust parts a little closer up and some of the other things that you guys missed, but we're caught up now, so let's get back on track and start working on this thing again. What do I want to address today? Well, it might be kind of hard to pick up on camera, but it's pretty obvious that the rear is sunk compared to the front. Oh, I also have some like glue here that needs to be taken care of. As much as I wish I could afford some legit wheels right now to really get my fitment on point, I'm gonna have to roll with these Enkeis for now. No big deal though. As you can see, the rear needs to get lowered, and it also needs to come out a little bit. Another thing I want to address today. If we take a look in my trunk, you can see my battery setup is not ideal. So basically what's happening here, this is a Miata battery, and I made some brackets and it's ratchet strapped in. It's tight, but it's temporary. I'm not exactly proud of this, but we're gonna make it right today. So anyways, the biggest issue I have with this is definitely the slow start. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire this thing up, maybe try to give you guys an idea of what it sounds like before it gets too late out here. And I'm gonna show you why I want to change this battery. All right, listen to this startup. Okay, it's not even gonna start. The Miata battery's dead. It's not starting right now, but even when the Miata battery was fully charged, it just had a lot of slow start issues. So I know I have a big enough cable for my battery relocation. I know my grounds are good, so it's just gotta be the cranking amps of the battery. Okay, so we are gonna be using this Optima red top battery and this tie down bracket that I got off Amazon. It seems pretty solid. I think it'll work out well. As for addressing the fitment, I ended up getting some spacers from GK Tech. If you guys don't know about GK Tech, they make some really good stuff for an awesome price. And I always end up spending way too much when I go on their website. So we've got some 20 mil spacers for the rear. Give you guys a quick little unboxing here. I like these GK Tech spacers because the hub citric ring is one piece and they have nice long studs on them, and, you know, in case I want to stack more spacers on later on. These are for the front. These are 10 millimeter, I believe. So these are slip-ons. I do have extended studs in the front, so don't worry about that. Yep. And we got a couple GK Tech stickers. Cool stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by getting this battery put in so we can fire this thing up and see what that exhaust sounds like. All right, guys, so basically how we're gonna approach this is I'm gonna take this battery tie down. Well, I say it's a battery tie down, it's more like a battery bracket. I'm gonna place it exactly where I want it. I'm gonna mark out my holes, drill them out, and through bolt the bracket to the car. Go ahead and throw this battery in. So now I just gotta tighten these tie downs up, and then we can throw the terminals on and we'll be good to go. All right, so as you guys can see, we got the battery installed. It's looking pretty good in there. We're gonna go ahead and try to fire this thing up, see how many cranks it takes. Easy. Okay, there it is. Get that back. Yeah, you're about to get some turbo motion. Pretty hyped on the way this thing's sounding right now. Let's go ahead and knock these rear wheels off and we'll see where we end up. Now we just throw these spacers on and we'll be good to go. So this car was actually raised up a little bit, which I think brought out the camber. So I think when I bring it down, when I lower it, it'll tuck up perfectly. And just from looking at the front and the rear, it looks like they actually match up pretty well now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other spacers on the other side and then maybe take this thing for a test strip. I don't know, let's see what happens. Go ahead and go do some pulls. Hopefully I can give you guys some sort of idea of how this thing feels. Maybe tomorrow we'll go do some more to give them a bit of a better idea. We can put it up against the Audi or whatever, see what happens. We'll touch up on that a little bit later. Feels like it's all there. It feels pretty solid. All in all, it feels good up top. The car runs a little rough down low. The idle's a little rough. The street driving is a little rough, but up high, it feels like it's all there. So. It just blows the tires off. It just blows the tires off in second. gosh.
Oh, good.
Okay, guys, so we just went on some test trips. Car did pretty good. Pulls pretty hard. Feels like it's all there up top. So yeah, pretty happy with it. It's time to get going on this thing again. I've taken a break long enough, so I'm ready to get back to work on this thing, start wrenching again, and start driving again more than anything. Be sure to like, comment, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll catch you in the next one.